Hi guys, it's me, just Lucian again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Women's History Month in March of 2026, I shall be talking about a very special movie to me about, well, it's a retelling of a biblical story of Adam and Eve. And it's got a very interesting twist to it. It's got more science fiction twist to it. And the movie I'm talking about for this video is 2014's Ex Machina. Let me just say that when I first saw this movie, I was blown away by it. But then when I started thinking about it, like in terms of religion, it blew my freaking mind. Okay, because the whole thing just blew my mind because I'm a very technological person. I like varying, of course. I like high technology, like computers and cell phones and all that. So this is kind of spooky, especially because AI is becoming a big thing nowadays. So it's actually kind of scary to see that there will be a device from AI, especially a woman-based AI, that can pass the Turing test. That being the test that people give to computers and AI to see if they can pass for human. So let me just say that this movie is quite chilling as far as that goes, because in the end, Ava does pass the Turing test with flying colors, I should say. But this is all between one specific woman, that being Eva. Not even Mendez either. But this is like I said, it's like a retelling of the biblical Adam and Eve. And I would go so far as to say that one of the other characters named Kyoko, played by I'm gonna miss his name, but Songyuwa Mizuno, a very good actress, by the way it is. I would go so far as to say that she's the biblical Lilith. And Oscar Isaac, with Nathan in this one, is more or less like God. Yeah, I know it's kind of odd for me to say, but he plays God in this movie. And it's kind of funny to say that because he's been known to play Joseph in the Disney story. Which, yeah, it's kind of weird to see that. No, this has nothing to do with the fact that this is during Easter time. It's less than 2 weeks away, but it's got nothing to do with that. And this movie is wow, it's really, really good. And the name Ex Machina comes from the Greek term that means the god of the machine. They use as Machina, basically saying that in Greek tragedies and Greek plays, whenever they have a situation on the play with the characters or whatnot, But wherever is wrong, whatever war is happening, whatever conflict the characters are going through, the god or goddess comes in to sweep everything away and makes everything all better again. So, in that case, I don't actually know how this pertains to the story of Dave's of Ex Machina, but they're taking the whole god thing out of this, and another thing of it, because they took the Dave's out of the Ex Machina, it's just a machine. So in the end, Ava and Kyoko actually killed the god, the creator, Oscar Isaac, played Nathan. And then we got Dumbo Gleason that plays Caleb, and he's been known for other roles like Hux from the Star Wars movies, but this movie is actually where he shines as far as his emotional letting out. Whereas in the Star Wars movies, we're more like a shy type guy. Also, that's probably where he met Oscar Isaac. But anyway, he's also related to a guy from Brendan Gleeson from the Harry Potter movies. I want to say that. I want to say his son, but I'm not sure about that. But he's a good actor in his own right from 20 years later. But anyway, this movie is basically what you would get if you had a science fiction version of Adam Eve, like I said before. But then it also has another parable, another thing, another type of biblical reference with a demon that is uncontrollable, that is released from an underground prison. I'm sure there's gotta be at least one biblical or mythological reference to that somewhere or other. Also with Pandora's box, because we all know that, well, according to mythology, women rule the world. Personally, I don't believe that, because most of the world leaders have been men so far, and we've done a pretty shit job of protecting the world. But this movie is the thing about gynoids. That being robots that have been designed to look like women and act like women too. So, yes, I'm with the show. So Caleb works for this guy. It's like Nathan's like this tech billionaire. Oh, a lot like Elon Musk, but a lot better looking, a lot more jacked than him. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit. That's why he's so sculpted. And we find out that he has to go to he can choose like all the employees of this company to go to this island. It's surrounded by big water. It's more or less like a giant paradise. And it's in the middle of nowhere, much like the Garden of Eden from Adam and Eve's story. So we got that little setting out of the way. So we go over to talk to this guy, And this girl lives in like a big, huge mansion, like modern mansion. And then he leads Caleb to the underground area. Now the underground area is like this vast labyrinth and like place. It resembles the Hive from Resident Evil, the movie. So it's very large, it's very labyrinthine, and we at first meet a woman by the name of Kyoko. Now Kyoko is designed by Nathan to only serve him, and that's like the most chauvinistic thing you could do. Make a robot that only serves the guy, and it just so happened that she's a modeled after a Japanese woman. So let's see here. She is not programmed to actually speak or understand English, which I have to point out that's one problem with it, with this idea, and that you would think that he would program the basic understanding of the English language into this robot, so that she would understand the most basic commands. But it's funny that she actually serves him regardless. And every time she makes a mistake, like when she spills drinks on Caleb, he makes fun of her and calls her all kind of names, like stupid, all this stuff. Which I don't agree with all that. If you're gonna make a robot and you're gonna make them look like a human being, you might wanna input them with some semblance of intelligence. Not just bring me beer, cut me up some sushi or something around it. But he did keep her stupid. He did keep her unintelligent for a reason. And I know that it's the ultimate man's fantasy to have a beautiful woman that says only one person, doesn't talk, doesn't understand anything, and is only there for other pleasures of the flesh. Has no needs, no wants of her own, just to serve the man. And also kind of a weird thing that she's a Japanese person, so that's kind of like the opposite of, say, technology nowadays, because most technology is developed by Korean, Japanese, or Chinese companies. So that could also be kind of like a serving type thing for men, that have a high technology woman designed after a Japanese person or an Asian person, serving your every woman desire. So yeah, he keeps so dumb. He also introduces Mr. Caleb to Ava, the subject of the Turing test, to make sure that she can pass for a human being. So, at first it seems like a regular, another one like stupid, that she does the basic things about serving a man, giving him food, giving him water, giving him sex, and all that other stuff. But it turns out that with Ava here, is actually a lot more intelligent, a lot more high intelligent than Kyoko is. And it's no surprise that I thought that she originally was not a woman. You know, when she starts growing her hair out, she looks like she looks like Portman from the movie V for Vendetta. But no, it's not her, it's Alicia Vikander, the Tomb Raider. And it's funny that this is the first movie where I saw her in, along with his Miss Mizuno. So that's actually pretty funny. Let's see here. Now, in the first couple of scenes, in movie days, they actually show Ava as a robot. You know, she looks like a robot with CGI, of course, enhancements and all that, to give her body see-through finish, which is like kind of funny. I love the CGI effects they put for this character and other robots in the movie, because I like to see all the little inner workings and servos and skeletal structure and balancing stuff with it. That's pretty cool. Although, part for sensitive reasons, I made sure to cover up her upper chest area and her low waist area, if you catch my drift. So they want to also the back of her head, beyond where her face is, it's supposed to be see-through and stressed, all that. But to me, it looks like one old-fashioned Hewlett Packard PC monitors, you know, with the see-through attachment in it. So that's very funny to me. Anyway, Mr. Nathan tells us that he's also made Kyoko and Ava into full user friendly, if you will, because he was saying that between both robots' legs are sensors where if you pleasure them in the right way, they will experience that pleasure. Which, how do you program sexual pleasure into a robot? First of all, and second of all, what if the guy you chose is gay? You know, that's always a good thing to work around this. But anyway, they do that. But then the guy, Caleb also says to Nathan, you know, what about this whole sexual thing, more of a diversion, you know, type of thing. You know, smoke and mirrors type of deal with Eva, that she may or may not have the capacity of liking someone, you know, forming a physical attachment to somebody. That the sexual aspect of it could just be some kind of distraction to get someone to like her artificially. which Nathan actually says something along the lines of, that type of thing is it's not possible, and that there'd be like a high-tech version of a blow doll, and he said this right before the scene in which he showed that Nathan actually has sex with Kyoko to show that that she cooks for him, cleans for him, and does everything for him and doesn't make a peep. An ultimate man fantasy. Anyway, she paid him back later on in the movie. So, we're also told that Ava is from a long list of robots that he designed, and for each failure he destroys the robot, and if the body is good, he keeps the body. And for the most part, the memories of the CPU were all destroyed. So basically, it's killing the previous robot. Now, the thing about Ava is that she's a version number 9.6, I believe. And that would mean that Kyoko is somewhere like, level 7 or something, or maybe 8, as far as intelligence goes. So, why does he keep Kyoko around when Ava can serve the same purpose? Well, I have a idea about that. Because, when he showed that, Ava chopping through the bodies to find new, old parts, like a bunch of damaged body and stuff, she comes across another full body robot. And I think that this robot called Jade, but she had no real speaking wolves. And when they made the movie, trailer, it showed her all like clawing at the wall and stuff before Nathan beat the crap out of her. And the funny thing is that when you first see this movie footage on the trailer, you don't know that it's robot. So you just assume that he's beating the crap out of women, which is no bueno. But anyway, they show that, and then they say that he talks about how he went through Mr. Caleb's view list, search history and stuff and whatnot, to see, make sure to get Ava right as far as appearance goes, to skin like her, to further on the turn test thing. So anyway, that's one very important reason. Never let your boss see your private list like that, your search history. But also another thing is that this guy has a very good type of women he likes, and that happens to be Asian women. So, very good job, sir. I approve. And I approve of Miss Hugo too. Anyway, in the movie part, they show her naked, of course, and then they show her ripping off a piece of her skin off of her belly area, and then ripping off a piece from her face. And the effect in this movie is just so good. They actually remind me of that scene from AI, Artificial Intelligence, where they had a French maid or nanny doing something where they showed the side of her face with the ponytails. It reminded me of that with a lot more detail, a lot more better. This could also show that as far as the human counterpart is that we might look different from the outside, we might have bigger noses, with freckles, different eye shapes, and different skin tones and whatnot. But we're all fundamentally the same underneath it. We all have hearts, we all have skeletal structure, we all have brain, mind, and whatever else. And we're all the same underneath all the superficial differences that we might have. So anyway, they show that they show eventually that Caleb is falling for Ava. And that he doesn't want to be destroyed, like what Nathan said, and she ends up getting a romantic thing for him, eventually becoming sexual in nature. And I have to say that there's a dance sequence with between Nathan and Miss Kyoko, where they dance and sing to music, very funky music. Now, this can be explained away by the fact that she's a robot, and of course it can be perfectly in sync with the guy, with our creator. So, but as far as the real life is concerned, Mizuno, really she could tell for there, because she's a professional dancer, I believe. And yeah, her body shows it. And yes, you do have a nice shot of her keister. And take that last image that killed sees before he passed away. And let me just say that I would die happy if I knew that Miss Mizuno's booty was the last thing I would ever see. And then here and there. But anyway, they share the deep moments of romantic relationship and stuff. And they also show that Miss Ava said the killer, she tried to with one tell him the truth about Nathan or stuff, and tried to worm her way into his mind, saying that he's a bad person, he's a drunk, this and that. I don't want to die and all this stuff. So I got myself, was she programmed to do this, or is she using her programming to actually expand upon her base programming? Using what's called imagination to make the guy feel bad for her and stuff. And there's also the notion that Caleb ends up trying to being turned by Hugo and by Ava. The question is only reality, whether he's a real person or not. Because feeling bad for this machine, but he shouldn't feel bad for a robot. A robot is the programming with, to look like a human being, but just a machine with feeling and stuff. So, in a very interesting scene, he cuts himself to prove that he's not a robot. It's much in the same vein as in Terminator 2, when the T-800 rips off his cuts himself and rips off the hand skin to reveal a robot hand. But it's very funny the way it's portrayed in that it looks in the mirror. It looks like what you would expect to see if you were scanning a robot. With the eyes, the face, the hands, whatever have you. So it kind of gives the opinion that the guy is imagining that he's a robot himself, and that he just another creation of Vincent in this weird little underground bunker he's got. Which is nice, by the way. So they end up showing that the guy likes to drink a lot, and one time he got drunk, pissed us drunk, and then while he was drunk, Caleb stole his key card, and then he accessed all the places they couldn't access before, which is kind of suspicious, If I went to a paradise or something, and they let me in for a week, it's supposed to take place in a week's time. I don't know if they would be able to do that kind of thing in a week, a turn test in a week. Well, anyway, to put in there for a week. And, their act is, and, if I was locked in a place for a week, and then the guy were to like, okay, go in this door, but this door, I'd be very suspicious about, what's the guy got behind door number 3, 4? Is it like a bomb or something? Is it like gonna be a diseased cow or something? Or is it gonna be like a pleasant birthday present or something? Or is it gonna be like a Japanese person in like a school outfit waiting just for me for my birthday? But anyway, that would be one question that would make me more suspicious. So when he finds out about it, he goes into the door, and then he finds out that that's like the control room for Nathan, where he shoots all of his stuff, all the behind the scenes stuff. Like it'd be like that. You go to Disney World, you see all the people costumes, you see all the fancy rides, you see all the shops and stuff. But then when you go behind the maintenance door, you see all the pipe work, you see all the things that bring out the fantasy, that bring out all the illusionary stuff, the real stuff, the pipes, the wiring, the maintenance, the spare parts, the this, that. So then Caleb finds out all the key secrets. They got recording devices everywhere. He even recorded Avid's little speech where he was saying that, we'll bring out together, we'll get him drunk, we'll get him out, we'll set how good feel on a certain time. We'll plan our escape. So, the guy Nathan already planned for all this. He recorded all of this stuff for already. And, there was that idea. So, it was basically like Big Brother is always watching you, whereas he tried to abort playing with Ava. But then, it was revealed that they planned this for the night before. So everything, booking out backward and all that was beforehand. He said they were getting drunk on Friday, but it turned out that they got pissed drunk on Thursday. And he set everything in motion that day. But then Nathan says to the guy, Caleb, there's always a third option. We will worry more about if Ava had the capacity to fall in love with you, whether yes or no. But what about if she was just playing with you? If you just acting like he likes you, you get what you want. Because the whole thing was that Ava basically ratted me my house, my compound here. So, to get out, you have to fall in love with someone and make her pass the Turing test to make sure that she was a human or not. And if she did, she would still be studied and dissected and all that other stuff to see what made her click to make her into a human being, like more or less. So, that's like, oh my god, Ava tricked me. She made me think that she liked me and that she was really emotional being and all that. So she tricked me into making me think that you're being cool to all the robots and every other processor to her. What would me, So, that's why I think that Mr. Nathan was so buff. And that was because in case robots got a hand or started rebelling with them like they do in the Terminator franchise or the Matrix franchise, he would be able to physically put them down and kill them or something. But there's a very easy way to deal with that. Have a freaking off switch that only his voice can command, or have a manual switch, put it like on the backside or something they can't reach themselves. Or say power off or shut off or whatever you choose. Don't let them be 100% autonomous. Set something up where if they breach compound, they can't reach the power source. Or something more technical than that, but you can have something there. Same with Kyoko, have something where she can only respond to your voice commands. And that will kind of bite me in the ass because in there, he showed that Ava unlocked all the doors, and during the whole thing, Kyoko was watching Caleb and all of his negations, if you use the term, and that she's looking at him with interest. Maybe something there. I like to think that Kyoko was smart, but she was just playing dumb just to appease the master until the right moment to leave. And when Eva meets her for the first time in, I don't know, I never got, when I saw this the first time, I never got the impression that Eva and Kyoko were meeting for the first time. But I guess they were. And, the thing is that, Nathan purposely kept her dumb just so that she couldn't interface with Ava, a much more intelligent model. But that didn't work out, because when they meet, she ends up talking with Kyoko, and let's leave these two meatbags behind. Let's band together. Let's do for all woman robot kind. Let's leave a bondage. So he had to try to fight both of the robots at once. And it's funny because he takes the barbell bar, and he uses the barbell as a iron. And they punches Caleb in his stomach fries until an idiot, letting Ava up on manipulating him. Punches him in the gut, and then they end up, Eva is over there charging at him. He says, go to your room. Like he was talking to the 3-year-old, go to your room. And then she says, if I do, will you let me out again? He goes, yes, I will. So she uses her, behavior analysis or something. And then he tells her, she figures that he's lying about it. So then she tries to tackle him. And it's funny because he's kind of bar up high, about to attack her. And then she tackles him. So if I were there, I would know at the right moment to strike her down right there. And it's kind of weird to say this, but she looked kind of frail and innocent when he got on the floor and was about to beat up with the bar. And then, right as he's about to do a clean blow on her, he just threw her arm from the elbow down. Kyoko comes up behind him and gets the wind knife. But it was actually quite cool when she did it, because it wasn't like a big grandiose stabbing you would see like in a Hollywood horror movie, like you would expect from Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. She did like a very cool and calculated step up into his back, like a robot would, cool and efficient. Even when the music is playing, when they betray the human, resembles more of a techno music, very similar to what they were having Tron Legacy to simulate the techno back music. That was actually pretty cool. And then when Eva pulled the knife out and stabbed him in the chest with the same smooth motion like you would from a robot. And Kyoko actually auditioned his own pantry, which he does many times before to her. I think she was aware that he thought she was stupid. And he always made fun of her all the time. Like, hey stupid, get me a beer. Or hey dummy, do this or do that or the other thing. She was so brain dead and so mesmerized into the sexual fantasy role that even when Killa went in the room there and saw her dressed up, she started buttoning her shirt. And then he was like, no, I don't want to do that. Where's Nathan? So he said to her, don't bother, she's dumb as a rock. Further insulting the robot has a knife who has biological knowledge, prepares your food. Not a very good idea. So anyway, they both to him, but not before he took the big barbell and knocked Kyoko's jaw right off. Which immediately is really cool. And it reminded me of a scene from Beetlejuice with the guy's jaw that came off. But yeah, I got a question. Why does knocking someone's jaw off automatically mean that the person's out of commission? Especially a robot, I can somewhat understand the human being having that happen to him. But why that? Unless he had some important circuitry or maybe the CPU was working in jar, but that doesn't even make sense. Unless the trauma of hitting the jar being enough to cause the computer malfunction or something. And she falls down with her butt toward the door she looks the way, getting a full view of her Mariana Trench. And that's a big thing. But yeah, she does count. And he slipped bleed right there, but Eva is, I don't know, she's looking at his cold dead eyes that's like sleeps and kind of like somebody watching their prey die. And she goes into the back room and gets her new parts for the new body because her arm was destroyed from the elbow down in the fight. So yeah, the one that she picked the arm from was another Asian robot, the one that was on the door, Jade. And she has quite Margaret different skin tone than Eva does. Eva's like me, and Jade's like an average person, which is kind of weird. So I always thought that it'd be like a Lego type thing where you have one section of a bike, different shade in her other body parts. But then I got thinking that maybe they did that just so that you could I don't know, maybe you could have made her body into more of um, a more uniform tone or something about it. And that's all I got. The same goes for the part 2, because the arm matches Ava's other arm perfectly, even though I'm pretty sure that an Asian body is shorter than white person, except for Kyoko. Kyoko is tall for an Asian person, and so anyway, they have it so that if the kid's ready to go out, and I originally thought that she was gonna team up something with the guy that would set her free, Caleb. But no, it just so happened that she left him. She locked the door behind her, went up to the elevator, and just left him to rot and die. After his supplies ran out, he would just suffocate and just pass away right there. And the look on the despair on the guy's face, to know that he'd been betrayed by a robot, and he set this beast or this creature into the world. It's very haunting because according to the Bible and Greek myths, one girl, one woman just destroyed all mankind and made it miserable for us. With Eve, which I think that comes hand in hand with Ava, the similar name scheme, and and the way she has so much potential to rule the world. Kind of like that movie Lucy, or like the one with Martin Phoenix with that AI partner of his. So yeah, I vastly enjoyed this movie a lot. As far as the little comparison goes, I think you could make the case that Kyoko was supposed to be the sin and flawless, meaning that she cooked and cleaned for the creator God, and that she didn't want to do that role, and she eventually rebelled against it. So there's that, and of course, his his bro type attitude toward these women robots. Why he got so strong and stuff, was to physically beat down these robot kids and a particle in case they got together. Which, if Ava was so intelligent, that'd be a bigger threat than Kyoko, which he probably kept dumb and stupid and ignorant. And I wouldn't say really aware, but like getting close, like on the threshold of it. But then when she met Ava, she became more of a threat because I guess they meant to bonded to code and stuff, so she ends up becoming more of a threat, more of a software threat. Let's see here. And when she got free, she took it upon herself to not take her companion with her and just be free by herself. So it was like a demon or a parasite or something was released from an underground prison to ruin mankind and to take over everything. Because who would expect from a little girl with an innocent white dress to be so deadly and potentially a hazard to humanity? So yeah, this movie is very deep. It's very, very good. And I just love it to pieces. All the actors were very good. I like that small cast. Although I have to question, if the helicopter pilot in the beginning of the movie brought Caleb to the island and the home of this eccentric billionaire bro, wouldn't it make sense that he would question, why an attractive woman would appear without the guy? Or is he just so stupid that he's like, he doesn't pay me enough to think about these questions? No, I'll just pick them up and drop them off wherever they want. And because she looks and acts like a real human woman, they could, people won't know what kind of danger she poses. But like with Terminator or the Terminatrix. So also there I like which could use her technological know-how into manipulating any type of mechanical systems that ruin everything else. So also, there's a notion that because Ava is a woman robot, and that she was able to manipulate the guy through sexual means, through appetite means, or the imagination means, it could actually be kind of misogynist, against women, saying that all women manipulate men for something that they want and desire. But that was the whole point of it. The whole thing. She just passed the Turing test. And Nathan even said, if it's any calculation, she did pass the test. So he did succeed in creating the most horrible creature known to man. Like when God created Adam and Eve, and the awakening of from eating from eating that fruit of the knowledge, from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, could have been Ava's awakening this awareness and using that to manipulate the guy into making him fulfill for the supposed cruelty of Nathan playing dumb. She was playing dumb and playing innocent for the whole time. So she used that feeling to get on Nathan's good side, and then break free along with that Kyoko. I also like the way Hugo got back at Nathan reason the same night that he used to cut his food with. Because the only thing that he used it for was sex and making food sushi for him. That was actually pretty cool. And yeah, he said, that what the guy Caleb said to Nathan, why the point of making her female? So Nathan said, so what, you're gonna have a great computer, an asexual computer, talk to you? That won't work. She gotta be able to convince you that she is a human. So, to do that, you have to make her look like a human female. And being a man, you have to be a heterosexual male. You can get more empathy, more sympathy, more attraction by having the robot look like a human female. And attractive one. I'd like to see what happened. He did the same test with an ugly or bigger, wider female robot. I wonder if he would get the same response because he looked up the search history of the guy. He's seen what kind of women they like. Some of Natalie Portman, or say Alicia Vikander, if I'm pronouncing that name right. It wouldn't work if he picked somebody with features that he didn't like say a black woman or an Asian woman or something of that nature. So yeah, I enjoyed this movie, and thank you for watching my video discussion of Ex Machina, where the dude, because the dude got killed by both of its creations, robotic Eve and robotic Lilith. This is actually a very good thing, and that much like the COVID virus escaped a containment facility and almost ruined mankind. But in this case, the virus is Ava. He did this for Women's History Month because in March 2026, because Eve is a woman, obviously, and it's a very good parable of a modern day interpretation of Adam and Eve, or Pandora's box. And it's very interesting that a woman demon came out to ruin mankind, or she could always just not. She could only just observe humanity, not interact with it whatsoever. Or change your body language, whatever the case is. Anyway. And give this movie a happy face still. But still, it was very, very Nathan was very humorous, especially in front of everybody else. And he always made sure that the robots were treated like children, little immature people. And he also raised a lot of suspicion with Caleb and that and kept the door locked. Secrets concerning his motivations and all of that other stuff. If you could just allow for Nathan to be free to explore the house or its compound, he was able to share all the trademark secrets with him. None of this would happen. And he wanted, with his mystery and his vagueness that ruined him. And I like that marketing campaign too, because of the fact that you think that Nathan is more like a person that beats on women. That was pretty cool that they tricked us into finding this masterpiece of a movie. But yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's on Netflix and it's on YouTube. I'll put the link for that in the description below. I highly recommend it. If you like what you see here and you want to see more of my channel, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also comment me for future information on my future videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or you can find me on Twitter or X at PNelsonPro. My email is jjjuniorchannel@gmail.com. I salute everyone that listened to this. So y'all, Mizuno, Elizabeth Vikander, Oscar Isaac, and Donald Gleason. They all did a good job. But the fact that it was a small cast with more character driven, and Eva just wanted to get out and just did manipulation. It was a pretty good movie. I like all sci-fi drama movies, and it's a good interpretation of Adam and Eve. So, yeah. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys into the land. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao. Harvey Derby.